corporate recruiter here to review your resumes. This is a resume of a software engineer intern. They have a terrible ratio. So what a ratio is, real quick, for people that are new, is this is how you can tell if your resume is good or bad. Your ideal ratio should be 1 interview per 50 applications at a minimum. If it's higher than that, your resume is probably garbage. And this person's resume is 150 plus, so I'm assuming this is a very terrible resume. But what a recruiter would look for in a software engineer for full stack or backend, as slight differences, is degree. I want to see that you're still in college. Basic knowledge of the tech stack. So for full stack, it would be like TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS. For backend, it would be, again, like one backend language like Java or Python, and also some SQL, Cloud, and maybe some RESTful APIs. And that's kind of all we super need on it. Maybe a little bit of AI. A lot of interns overcomplicate it. They try to put down 1,000 different things, and it's like, it's really, really, really basic what we're asking for you. The ability to work well with others and takes direction and criticism. If I don't find those in 20 seconds, your resume will be yeeted and deleted. So let's see if I can find it and go. Okay, degree, good. Delve the full stack. Okay, good. React, HTML, CSS, visual, song, and artist data. Okay. Integrated RESTful API. That's fine. That's actually mostly what I need on the tech. Managing Pokemon teams. That's fine. Gives me context. And I don't see how you work with other people. And okay, that's it. Declined. So they had most of the tech stack. So they passed on that bullet point. But the problem is I need all of those. I need all of those to be done, and they only passed on 50. Also, if you notice, I may be doing this throughout the video. I am recovering from a cold still, so sorry about that, but it is messing with my voice. So here's how I would fix this. But first, let me read what they said, because maybe that'll give me some context. I recently came across some videos and found them helpful. Good. That is the goal. I've been applying to software engineering summer intern roles for the past couple of months, trying to land my first internship. I've applied to over 200 jobs and have yet to land a single interview. I know the job market is rough right now. Yes, we are in a recession. But after that many applications, it makes me believe that my resume or qualifications are the problem. They are. You are correct. That is a good assessment. Would appreciate your advice. I'm looking forward to you roasting my resume. So, yeah, like, again, I think you were expecting me to tear this apart, and it's not good, I want to be clear, but there's definitely some salvageable stuff in this. So here's what you need to do. First off, you need to fix your formatting. This is a bit hard to read, and as you noticed, I only had 20 seconds. And despite what some comments may say, I am actually very proficient in tech recruitment. That is one of my specialties, and it's entirely probable that the recruiter that is going for this is not a tech recruiter, which sometimes can happen. They may get even less in this based on the resume. So formatting wise, your resume should look like this. This is how you do it. It's in the link tree below in the summary of this video, so check that out. That is how you want to do it, because this is hard to read. This is sort of a conglomeration of words that is difficult. So this, no bolding, no bolding. This, no underline but bolded. This, no underline but bolded. Here, this should only be 2 lines, one that contains this stuff, and the other one that contains this stuff, and then this can be deleted. It's not needed, and I don't think this is needed either. Like, why would this matter if you're currently going for an internship? So I think you can delete this as well. Then we go down here, again, formatting issues, but you do not want to put it here. I cannot use it here. I am not looking for keywords. I am looking for qualifications, and a qualification is how you did it, the reason and result of you doing it, where you did, and what you did. And this is the what and the where, because it's under a job, but you do not tell me how or the reason or result, so it is superfluous at best and actively detrimental at worst. So delete this. You do not need this part right here. It is unnecessary. Then you need bullet points that show that you can work well together with other people. Yeah, none of these count. I don't think people can even see them because they're so far down. But these are not good bullet points for that either. The years of experience is fine. You've been there for about a year each. That's solid. But I need to see that you've worked together. I need to see that you have worked in a team and took direction and criticism, not leader. Like, every single intern shows how they led 1,000 different things. Like, bro, we're not hiring you to lead. We are hiring you to teach you stuff. That is the point. That is the goal of it, is to teach you. We are not expecting you to come in here and fix all the company's problems. You are here to learn. And if you do not show that you can learn by saying, met weekly with senior engineers where they critiqued my project for that I would change before our next meeting according to their feedback, that is something we would need. But right now, it's really not. This is very, very difficult to read. You do not tell me how you worked with other people. You do have the tech skills right. I think this is the amount of tech I would need. I'm trying to think if there's anything else here I would really need for it, and maybe a little bit more on the back end. And that's it. But overall, this is not a tech issue. This is you did not show you could work well together with others, and your resume is so hard to read that they may not actually get far enough down to find what they need to move you forward. So that is the stuff that you can do to improve your chances, at least coming in January, because again, the job market basically shuts down from the end of November till the second week of January. So your ratio doesn't actually matter until second week of January. Then it'll start mattering again. But plus side, biggest job boom of the year over year, is in January after or during the second week. So yeah, and if you ever need more help, you could join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST on twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. The link is below. Please share this with your friends and family that need help. Like and comment. It helps me out. And let's go to the next resume. This is a software engineer, full stack /backend /MERN stack. No, it's not. You can't do that. If you do that, you're going to have a problem. You need to be specific. And for everybody, especially software engineers, you need to pick a stack. And backend and full stack are different. I know what you're saying, but they're different and they require different qualifications. So this is not a backend /full stack /MERN. This is only and fully going to be a full stack. Oop. I did stuff on the back end by mistake. So this is a full stack. So what we need for full stack is degree, TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML, Node.js, Angular, Next.js, GraphQL, SQL, API, RESTful API, Cloud, Agile, CI/CD, cross-functionally, .NET or Python or Java, and bonus points for architecture, extra language, Git, and DevOps. So can I find it in 20 seconds? And go. Okay, degree, fine. AI powered tool, I don't care about. What? Okay, you don't tell me how you do these or the reason or result if you did these. So this would be a no. And, yeah, okay, so this would be a no. All right, so what did you say? I am from a tier 4 college, so companies don't visit our campus. I mainly search for jobs through LinkedIn. Good. By sending cold messages or cold emails to the company's founders and HR. Never do that. Never do that. We hate that. That is not a good strategy. You are wasting your time doing that. We get so many of those per day, and I will tell you this, as a recruiter who has been recruiting for since 2015-ish, give or take, maybe 2016, I have never been able to place somebody, yet alone get them an interview when they reach out to me first. I wish it would make my job easier, but you're not going to find a role like that. This is not how you do it. Then we go to here. Also, well, maybe, okay, look, I want to be clear. My advice is for the U.S. If you are in another country, like, I assume this is India, based on the Gujarat, but I only know the US-based market. I've gotten people jobs in Canada, Australia, the UK, the EU, and Africa, but sometimes my advice does not translate to other countries. It just doesn't always work. So, for the US, though, this would definitely not work. And please stop messaging us cold messages. We cannot do that. It does not work. I've literally never had it being able to place anybody through that. So, what you need to do is remove the skill section. I cannot highlight it for some reason. And fix the formatting. And you need to redo some of these bullet points. Like, not only do you not contain everything I need, because you only contain about 50% of what I need for, actually less than 50%. Yeah, you only contain generates HTML, CSS, or React with accessibility suggestions. What does that mean? I don't know. None of this makes sense, and none of this tells me how you did it or the reason or result of you doing it, and you don't even have the right keywords. So I'm going to need you to go back to the drawing board and delete this and redo it, because this does not have what I need. I need you to state, created a UI, an AI UI using JavaScript, HTML, CSS, and TypeScript, right? That would be fine. And then, used, well, yeah, I can't use any of these things. In a AWS and SQL environment. I just don't have the bullet points I actually need. These are random. Like, I would like GitHub, but I can't use anything else here. You tell me Python, PyTorch, Node.js, but you don't tell me how. Same with React. Those are stuff I needed. Because remember, I cannot use anything in this section. I cannot use anything if it's written off to the side. It has to be here. It has to be here, or it does not count. Also, depending on when you graduate, you might be applying too early. If you're graduating in January 2026, that's fine. If you're graduating in December, this is probably too early to be applying for the vast majority of jobs. But that is all I can really do on this, because this resume is almost entirely blank, and there's not much I can really do with it. So let's go to the next resume. This is another software engineer intern. So what we need, again, same things: basic knowledge of the tech stack, work well with other, take direction and criticism. Pretty simple. And degree. You do need the degree. If you do not show me that you have your degree, that's probably an instant rejection. So, it's 20 seconds and go. All right, where is your degree? It is all the way at the bottom, but okay, you are doing it and you're in the same thing. That's good. All right, don't care about this. Built a full stack for, okay, but with what? Don't care about that. Don't care about that. At least you tell me AWS. Nothing here I can use. OpenAI is nice. For iOS, Android, and web using React Native and AWS, that's okay. And deleted. All right, this would probably not work. Let's see. I'm a second-year bachelor student looking for early career software engineer internships. Open to pretty much any kind of role. Applied about 100 so far and gotten ghosted by employees at the moment. Yeah, this is worse than the first resume. I want to be very clear. The first resume was not good, but this one is worse. So, you have committed a lot of resume sins. 1, no skills section. Do not have skills section. 2, your education is all the way at the bottom, which again, you saw, made it so that I could not, I lost precious seconds. So that should be up at the top. Then your formatting is off slightly. Again, nothing here should be bolded. No underline in between here. This should be italicized. It should look like this. But a bigger problem than the formatting, than the education at the bottom, is the fact that your bullet points contain almost nothing. This is the stuff we need. But again, we cannot use keywords. We have to use qualifications. I need to see these in a bullet point that show how you used it, the reason and result of you using it, and what you used. But because you did not do that, I cannot use this, and this is one of the reasons you are getting ghosted, is this contains almost nothing I need. Your only good sentence is this, which is developed and launched a full-stack on-demand industrial supply delivery tool and rental platform for iOS, Android, and web using React, React Native, Node.js, and AWS. Parentheses, Amplify EC2 S3. That's fantastic. You should have the skills before, so it should say used React Native, Node.js, AWS to launch a full stack on demand blah 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 tool for iOS and Android. But beyond that, this is how I need you to write everything, because I don't care that you built a full stack in what did you build it in? I don't know. You did not tell me. For luxury brands, at least you told me that it was for luxury brands. Cutting recurrent platform costs. Why do I care about that? I'm hiring an intern. By migrating the business off Shopify. Developed custom solution using Firebase and Stripe checkout. Again, why do I care? With a backend on AWS EC2. That they might, because cloud is important. To manage payment processing, okay, and customer data synchronization between Stripe. Again, it's irrelevant. This entire thing, you've only gotten like 4 things that I need. And that is a problem. Where is the TypeScript? Where is the JavaScript, the Python, the Java, the SQL, the C++? Where is the RESTful APIs? Where is the Docker, the CI/CD? I don't know because you did not show me. If you do not show me in bullet points, it does not exist. That is the rule. That is why a skills section is irrelevant. But there's also another problem is you do not tell me how you worked well with others. You do not tell me or show me that you could take direction and criticism. Remember, I'm not hiring you to cut platform costs by 80% by managing to payment processing customer data. I'm hiring you to learn. In fact, what I imagine happened is, team leader of, again, I'm not looking for you to lead, I'm looking for you to take direction. What I imagine happened is you used these bullet points down here, which are actually better. Worked with 5 team members to develop WildCan, a wildfire tracking app using Python, JavaScript, blah, 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 and blah. That's fantastic. That's exactly what I want to see. Shows you can work as a team, shows me the tech stack. It's simple, tells me what it is. One of your best sentences. I don't care about MacBox and Flask, maybe Flask, but the rest of that is written correctly. Design and implemented the backend, good. Setting up the MongoDB database, and Twilio for real-time text alerts. Again, I would like a little more keywords in that, but otherwise that's how you write it. So what happened was you had relatively okay to good sentences down here, and then you got this internship, and the problem is you tried to be impressive from your internship when this does not get you a job, with the exception of this. This is a good bullet point, but this does. These small, little, boring, basic things are what we're looking for. Everybody tries to tell you, like, what are you looking for, recruiters? It's like, it's this. It's literally this basic. Everybody overcomplicates it. You don't need to do 3,000 backflips. You just need to write this stuff. So that's why your resume is worse than the previous one. Let's go to the next resume. This is another full stack. You know the stuff. So let's see if I can find it. And I don't need any of this. Don't need this. Where's your education? Okay, you've got it. Good. Okay, so built an AI-driven SaaS platform. Good. Using Gemini code. I don't care too much about that stuff. PostgreSQL I do. Stripe, using Google Chief accuracy query. I don't care about that. What about that is full stack? Is this full stack? All right, well, this person would get rejected. That's literally all the time I can find. Yeah, they said full stack. Okay. I am applying everywhere on every platform, but not getting a response. Only getting a few HR calls, but not getting interview ahead. I'm looking for a full stack role as job internship remotely at any level of company. Well, wait, are you looking for... You cannot have a full stack resume is different than an intern resume. An intern needs to show they can work well with people. They need to show that they can take direction. They need only a basic amount of the qualifications. A actual full-time role needs the different stuff. So if you're using this to apply to both interns and full-time, that is part of a problem. Also, it looks like you graduated this year, so I don't know why they would move you into a full-time role or give you an internship because you've already graduated. So, second thing is this is a bad resume. This is really bad. Nothing here is needed. Nothing here is needed. This stuff would be good, but remember, where did you do it is part of a qualification. So, you told me what you did. You told me, actually, you kind of really didn't. These are bad bullet points anyway. Kind of how you did. You did not tell me the reason or result, nor the where. So that's why it doesn't count. Again, this doesn't count. And this happens in like almost every industry, is every industry thinks they need to do stuff like this or this, when what we're looking for is this. So I need you to delete this and put this stuff and this stuff, which is what we're looking for, here or here or here. I need you to show me how you did it and the reason or result, because that is the difference between a qualification and a keyword. These are keywords. I'm not looking for those. These are keywords. I'm not looking for those. These would be qualifications if you actually put in the keywords into them. So, like, crafted a modern UI with Next.js, TypeScript, and Shade CN UI. Fine. I like that. That's good. The rest of yours need to be like that. I don't really care about ensuring a fast response. Again, there's a big thing of job seekers trying to impress me, and it does not work, right? Like, no recruiter is going to care. I guarantee you that there's always some weird ones. I guarantee you that the vast majority of do not care that you did a 90% query accuracy. You did not do a 50% faster generation speed. What we do care about is you configured PostgreSQL and you used AI APIs. That's what we're looking for, is this. And it needs to show here. And you need to be very specific about what you're applying for, because if you apply to every role under the sun with the same resume, you are going to have a bad time. You need your resume to be specific for an individual job title and use that job title resume to mass apply. So, next resume, because again, there's really not much more ground I can cover on this one in particular. Although I think it is pretty good that we've seen like a couple of comparatively different resumes, so maybe I'll do that more in the future, where I just sort of get like bunch them up by job title, and then you can all compare and see which ones work and which don't, and why they do and do not work. I wonder if I should do that maybe in the future. Next resume. This is another full stack. I did not plan this. They were just like 5 full stacks in a row and interns. So y'all should know this one by now. These are the qualifications. Let's see if I can find it in 20 seconds. And go. Okay, this is actually way more detrimental. All right, engineer to TypeScript-based marketing controller. Okay, good. Integrating OpenAI. All right, mask identifiers. Some of the stuff I want there. Don't care about this. You already mentioned that. TypeScript you mentioned. Mocha Chai I don't care about. Node.js I might. Okay. So, this is not great. Let me see what you stated. I recently started my job search about a few weeks ago. I've put in about 80 to 90 applications so far, and I've received 1 phone screen. It's actually not the worst, but I've not heard back as of yet. I want to know if my resume is holding me back from opportunities. It is, yes. I know it's around the end of the year, but I still want to check if my resume was good enough or not, and it's not. Now, again, remember, we are at the end of the year, and quite frankly, the ratios don't matter at this time. You would have the best, perfect, most amazing resume, and you probably won't get anything until the second week of January. But that's just how it is year over year. But again, second week of January, biggest job boom of the year starts. So, problems with this resume. Actually, I want to start with what I like first. Is you started with the qualification that I would want, which was TypeScript. So engineered a TypeScript, good. Based marketing controller integration, integrating OpenAI, good. And then the problem is here I don't fully care about, but you did tell me what you did. So I like this part, with the exception of AST. But here I don't really care. And then the big problem I have is you only state Node.js, TypeScript, and AI. Those are the only things that I'm really looking for in this section, and that's it. But right here, you have JavaScript. Perfect. TypeScript, you stated. React, Node.js, SQL, HTML, CSS, MongoDB, GitHub, and then some of this stuff. This is what I want, but remember, I cannot use that unless it's here. That is the theme for this episode. But I will say, besides the numbers, how you wrote this was correct. The content was not, but the sentence structures were. And in some of the previous resumes, I said you need to delete all of this and do it again. There's no point in redoing it. There's not really that much you need to do to fix this. You kind of just need to put engineered a TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML based marketing controller, integrating OpenAI and PostgreSQL, right? And then developed a Babel parser for our GitHub, blah, 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 blah. So you actually don't need to do a lot of work to fix it. Although there is one critical flaw that I did not catch previously, and that is this. You need months. If you do not have months, you will have a problem. The months are important. If you do not put months, what this could be is you started in December of 2025, which, again, is a big difference than starting in January of 2025. Same with this. Did you start in December of 2014? And did you leave in January of 2018? I don't know. You did not tell me. So, for the Marine Corps, This is actually, so here's what you want to do. You want to leave in the Marine Corps. All right. Hey, put months. You need months on your dates and work experience. But in the Marine Corps, you want to keep this, but you actually want to shrink it down to a single bullet point, because what you did, unless it was directly relevant, is not related to what they want you to do. But showing that you were in the Marines or the Army or the Navy for X amount of years is a green flag. So I don't really care what you write below this, so you should not write much, but you should keep it on, because being in a place where there's that much strict hierarchy and you will have to follow some orders, and basically it's perfect for corporate and they love it. I don't know what that says about the world, but they do. So you should keep this, but only keep this, right? Just say operate and maintain encrypted communication systems supporting mission critical field operations across multiple units. That's it. That's all you need to put. And then it goes down to your open source contributors, contributations, which people also really like. So again, to summarize, you need the dates. You need the dates here. 1,000%. I need the month and the year. And you also need to put this stuff in here and then fix the formatting. This should not be bolded. This should not be bolded. And then only keep this sentence and then add a couple of more keywords down here. And I think you're golden. Although, do you have a degree? Maybe not. If you don't have a degree, then don't put it in. I don't see where you learn this stuff, but that's fine. If you don't have a degree, then you don't want to put it. So that's all I could do for this one. And again, really, this is not a burn it and start again. There's not going to be an incredible amount of stuff that you need to do to fix this. So just put in some stuff, put the education in if you have it, and fix the dates. But that's all I can do for this resume and episode. So thank you all for watching. If you ever need more help, you can always join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST on twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter, where I help you get ahead of your job search, because right now you are on the path to employment and I want to help you walk it. I'll see you all in the next I'll see you all in the next video.